Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. So today we're doing something a little bit different, just as a little thank you for all of your help, support, likes, comments, shares on all of my work. You wouldn't believe how much it means to us. So just as a little thank you, I've popped this sheet together for you. This is your March freebie sheet. I know a lot of people struggle with men's cards, and I love doing artwork for male designs, so I thought, why not pop this together? So on the sheet itself, you have your artwork topper, your vintage car. Then you have a little back and paper plate for a background for your card. And then you have a range of sentiments. Say happy birthday, happy Father's Day, happy anniversary. And then I've also included a blank sentiment plate at the top so that you can use with your peel-offs or your sentiment stamps. So there is your sheet. Now, to find that on the website, you will follow the link, whether you found it on YouTube or on Facebook. When I upload the designs, this is the one you're looking for, but they're in date order of them being uploaded. So it might not necessarily be here, it might be further down in the page. So at the top of the website is all different categories, and they're different sections for different styles of downloads. So you've got your card making topper sheets, then there's JPEGs, card making digital download kits, printable card blanks and inserts, and you keep going all the way down until you find your freebies section. So you'll be able to find that sheet. There we go, that's highlighted blue so you know it's worked. And then these are all your free files. And this is your marked sheet. So you click on it. There we go. And then you just proceed to check out and just follow the instructions. It's really, really simple. And then get it printed out. I'm going to do a video. So if you want that little bit of extra inspiration, you can print your download out and craft along with me at home in your own time, in the comfort of your own home. This sheet I have printed out on cardstock, but it could easily be printed out on paper. So yeah, let's get started making the card. Hi, so we're at the craft table. I've got everything printed out ready. So I've got the download sheet, I've got some black card that I'm going to be using, and I've also got some grey card, and then I've got a selection, don't know what I'm going to be using yet, but I've got some stickles, some Dovecraft pearl effects, some Ranger liquid pearls, I've got a little bit of craft glue with some glitter in it, and some black dimensional pearl effects, and some, probably use the graphite and the lyrics of the Dreamies Dinky Inkies ink pads just for the edging. So I'll pop you up there. Stick the glue gun on. And let's get started. So I'm going to take a sheet of 300 GSM card, and I'm just going to fold that over. And using my bone folder, I'm just going to take this down and give it a really sharp press. And I've made my A5 card blank. So getting these ready, I'm going to take my tonic and trusty old guillotine. And I'm just going to cut out the elements, trim down. And I think a lot of people struggle with cards for men, but I really love doing designs. I've got a selection of motorbikes and cars, trucks. So this was an obvious choice as your free sheet for March. Hopefully you find it useful. So I've just taken the little topper off, and I'm going to go in with this lovely graphite ink And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop a little bit of ink around the outside. You don't have to do this, I just think that it helps make the topper pop on the card. And just gives it a nice little distressed look. And last side. There we go. So, just to make this pop, I'm going to put it on black first. So I am going to take my tape pen I'm just going to do a little bit of matting and layering. I'm just going to do this by eye, it doesn't have to be too precise. I'm just going for a little few mil around the outside. There we go, so I've just got a little bit of a black border around it. And then I'm going to go with some mirror card. Same again. Tape pen on the back. So I've got a nice mirror card frame around that side. And then I'm going to pop I'm just going to do a little bit of a white border around the outside of the card. So I'm just going to cut that here. I'm just going to cut this down to a size that would fit in my trimmer. There we go, I'm happy with that. And then I'm going to pop on the back and paper panel. And I'm just going to mark that a few mil shorter than the go. And just see what this looks like put together. Lovely. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my chair up. I'm going to take that graphite ink and I am just going to literally do the edge of this. And we're also going to do the backing paper plate as well. Now I've printed this, as I said, I've printed onto 300 GSM cardstock because my printer allows, but normally these sheets I just print on a good super smooth paper. I usually have about 120 GSM. So that's that one edged as well. So we'll start popping this together, right? So just going right the way around the outside. this layer. I'm just going to use my bone folder just to apply an even amount of pressure across the card. And there's my card base all set up. There's the topper. And then we need to sort out a little sentiment. Now, this card I'm actually going to use for a birthday. Got someone's birthday coming up, so I thought it'd be quite nice to use this one for that. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to trim around this little sentiment. And you don't have to be too precise. You could take your time and be really careful, but you don't need to with this little trick I'm going to show you. So we'll just take that little sharp bit off there. I'm going to use the ink pad, and I'm just going to brush around the outside, and that'll get rid of any white edges, and it just all adds into the same look of the card. There we go. So I think that'll look nice on a little piece of mirror card. Yep. So there we go. Trim that down. I'm just going to take a little bit more off the bottom. Right, so I'm going to actually, just to give it a little bit of dimension, I'm going to pop some of these foam pads on the back. This is foam pad tape. Dimensional tape, they call it in some parts. So just because this isn't a very good quality foam tape, I got this from the pound shop, so you get lots of rolls for your money, but it does mean the adhesive quality is not great, so I'm just going to go over the top with a little bit of hot glue, and then I'm just going to pop that in place. And just by elevating that up from the card, it's going to give the overall look as having a bit of a shadow behind it. And then I'm just going to do the same with the sentiment, but I'm going to pop the sentiment on a little jaunty angle, on the wonk, as my friend calls it. Bit of hot glue, and we are just going to pop that on there like that, and then I'm going to give this a good shake because this is a new one, I haven't used it yet. So just because it is new, I'm going to give it a little test patch first. And we are going to squeeze, squeeze, squeeze and pull up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze and pull up just to get the little dots. So we're going to go for one at the top. So squeeze, 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 pull up. Two in the bottom right corner. Squeeze, 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 pull up. Little one in each of the corners because it's near the edge of the topper. There we go. And then, depending on what you have in your stash, because it's important that you use what you've got. Have a look about and see what things you've got. I've got some glossy accents, and I've got all of these ranges. I think this was just inexpensive glitter glue from the Pam shop. Now with glitter glue, especially if you're using a really cheap one, the glue is usually quite liquid, so if you're just using paper as your topper, I wouldn't necessarily use this, because what will end up happening is it'll be too much liquid on your paper and it'll make it bubble. So this is card, so I could get away with using that, but I'm going to go in with some glossy accents first, and I'm going to pop some over where the lights are, just to accent the highlights so they're nice and shiny with the glass. And I'm just going round and round in a little circular motion. Hopefully you can see that. You'll be able to see better when it's dried. But then I'm just going to do a few little texture bits. As you've seen, I quite often do this on most of my cards. I just think it adds that little hand touched element. And then I'm going to go in with some tiny little black dots just to darken it. And then I think I'll use some white. So what I like doing with the white is I tend to group them together. The nozzle on this is really, really fine, so I can do small little dots. And all I'm doing is, rather than reaching over my work, because elements are wet, all I'm doing is I'm turning the design around, so I don't have to reach over the bits that I've already done and risk smearing them. And a few little single dots just to pull it through. And that's the design done. You could add some glitters and things to the wheel arches, the fenders, a little bit to the wing mirrors. It's up to you. I've created this sheet for you to have a play with, so do please have an experiment with it, and I would love to see pictures of your finished cards. I know not everyone has endless amounts of money to buy the downloads, so this is why I wanted to create a few sheets for you on the website that are free, so you can have a really good play with them and just enjoy it. So if you're not already a member of our little Facebook community group, please do pop over and join us. We're a lovely little group over there, just small and like-minded people who just like sharing their cards and crafting techniques and tips. So pop over and find us on there. I'll also put a link below with my Linktree account, so you can find all of my social media pages, all of the links, the link to the website, the link to the Etsy shop, and everything that you would need to find. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your support. I hope you like your free sheet for March, and I really do hope you'll craft with it. So see you in the next video. Bye.